Hey guys, Carl here. Doing something a little different tonight. Just for fun. So I've got my beer and wine bucket. I've got some clean water. Cap full of bleach. Don't want to overdo it. Does not take much to sanitize. So, not too bad, but you know, I don't like things. So I'm going to also sanitize the lid. Like I said, maybe a cap full of bleach to a gallon of water. You really don't want to overdo it and kill your yeast. You really don't want to overdo it. But I thought it'd be fun to show you guys how on occasion I make myself a nice little 5-gallon bucket of homemade wine or hooch, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to show you guys how that all works. Alright, a good rinse. Let that sit there. I've done this a couple times now, so I'm quite certain it's I've always kept it fairly clean. But to be completely honest, I've had it sitting under my Bitcoin miner for a month and a half now, upside down on the floor, but the inside looks really good. We do things simple. Clean the outside just a little bit, just for the S and G's of it. So, we got all that pretty clean. Another thing too, you gotta, like I said, it's not a lot of bleach, but you really gotta make sure that you don't get that bleach in your hooch mix. Should we be sophisticated and just call it wine from now on? You might not when I see what I'm making it out of, but for now, we'll just call it some wine. Alright. I'm going to turn that off and let that sit for a second. I got some filtered water coming in. I don't know how much of it I'll need, but I'll take the time to filter all the water. And what I have here is just your standard active dry yeast. I put some in some warm water. Getting her warmed up. Light her off. And by the time we get ready to put her in the bucket, it ought to be happy. Alright, close enough. Now, what's next? Well, let's start loading the bottle. Alright, we're back. Today, we are going with strawberry lemonade. We get our antioxidants and our B vitamins. And I'll tell you what, By the time we're done with this, you're not going to care about either one of those things. So, here we go. Bucket sanitized. Got 10 bottles of V8 Splash. Now, they've been sitting outside all day. They're temperate, not cold, which is good for the yeast. So we'll just go at it for about 6 more times. And y'all can't believe the sugar that's in this stuff. Here we go. Serving size 8 ounces, 8 servings per container. So that's 64, 8 times 8. So that's 8 servings. Sugar per serving, 16 grams times 8. Anyone want to do that? 8 times 16, 80, and 48. So that's 128, right? Right. 128 grams of sugar. All right, there's half. Going for 6. Six in. Number 7. Number 8. And if you guys don't ever use V8 Splash, they're only $2 a piece. This whole thing will be about 20, under $25 for 5 gallons of homemade wine and not having to do any work for it. That's the beautiful part. It's like work-free wine. Because we're being sophisticated and calling it wine. There are, look at that. Look there. You see the 4 gallons of just under 5 gallons. I'm pretty good with that. But you know what? I want a little bit more. Got my filtered water. You don't want to bring it up too much, just in case the it gets overactive, makes a bunch of bubbles, and sends it into your airlock. But we'll be careful. Ooh, that sucked. Fill my water filter one more time. And I'll be right back with you. We'll get back to it. All right, we're back. Okay, so we've got our 10 bottles of our V8 Splash strawberry lemonade. Added 2 pitchers of the filtered water. Looking pretty good. Now we go for this, because we don't want weak wine, right? We don't want no weak wine. So I'm gonna put half the bag in there. Why half, you say? Why not put it all in there? Well, I'll tell you why. I'm going to use this whole bag in this batch, but this is called a primary fermentation. And when this stops, we will start a secondary fermentation in the carboy, which will also clarify the wine. And so there's no need to get in a hurry. We'll eat it up. Don't you worry about that. She'll be potent. Y'all would like to have some, I promise. But yeah, we got our 10 pounds of sugar, our 10 bottles of V8 Splash, a little bit more water just because I like the volume. Now, let's put the magic ingredient in. Had the yeast over here warming up. And because we don't want to use tap water with the chlorine, give her a little rinse with the filtered water. And those little yeasties are going to go down in the bottom there and find themselves a smorgasbord. And they're going to go to work. So then, we come over here, clean, sanitized lid. You'll notice there's a little tiny hole in it. Well, that's what primaries are. Let's snap this lid on. It's got to be an airtight seal. There's a rubber gasket in there that keeps this completely airtight. At least doesn't allow air in. That's the trick. You gotta let stuff out, but you can't let oxygen in. It's a completely anaerobic process. We're making carbon dioxide, folks. Darn those environmentalists anyway. Anyway, you know, I believe I'm good with the environment, but we're making some CO2. Okay. So, the next step. This is called, what is it called? It's an air separator. It keeps air from getting into the system and lets the carbon dioxide out. Airlock, that's the word I was looking for. 3-piece. That's simple. Let me rinse it real quick. Yeah, that's the magic. See the little black hole? I'm really overproducing this one. You take that and that rubber gasket and you squeeze her down in there a bit. Make sure you got a pretty good seal. You want that fairly level. Then, slow you down a little bit. There you go. Now you can see it. We're going to take the cap and drop her in. Take a little bit of water. Make her float. Uh-oh. I may have created a suction. That's okay. It'll blow out a little bit of water on me. And then you put your retaining lid on, and that keeps the center cap from blowing out the top. But because it is so darn entertaining to watch, you come back over here to the baking section. Where the hell is my baking section? Come on now. You guys ain't gonna, you know, I should know where my baking section of my kitchen is by now. We've got the slightest little trick to make this much more entertaining. My favorite color is blue, so we will give this one hit of blue food coloring, and now I can see this operate from anywhere in the house. Once this reaches room temperature, which I think right now is pretty darn close to 72. It's actually warm. When this hits operating temperature, we're gonna start seeing some bubbling and bubbling, bubbling, making CO2, turning this little hooch into wine. And then we'll do another video and show you guys what happens with the clarification process. We'll do a secondary fermentation with some more sugar, get it in the carboy, and then get this little process going. Appreciate you all hanging out with me. It's just that simple. It's just a bucket with an airlock. That's all there is. Less than 25 bucks for 5 gallons of wine. Not saying it's, you know, high table wine or anything like that, but I sure like it. Anyway, there you are. We'll catch you when we get to the secondary. See you later.